Newscast is closed caption for the hearing impaired. Local coverage you can count on. This is Local News at 11 on KAPP ABC, where the forecast comes first.
Skies should be on the gray side tomorrow. Let's take a look at the first forecast for the Yakima Valley. Cloudy with a 30% chance of rain showers. Light northeast winds, well, 10 to 15 miles an hour and a high of 50. For the Tri-Cities, mostly cloudy with a 30% chance of rain showers, but a little bit cooler at 47. North winds 5 to 10 miles an hour in the afternoon. We're going to see a warm-up later on in the week, Lucinda, and I'll talk about that in the full forecast.
All right, that sounds good. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lucinda Kay. Police are searching for an alleged killer in our region tonight. California police believe the man is headed for the Tri-Cities, and today officers searched 2 locations in the Tri-Cities but did not find Federico Castellanos Valesco. Police want to talk to Valesco about the death of Miguel Cardenas. Cardenas is from Kennewick. Cardenas moved to Visalia, California 3 months ago, and that's where 3 people broke into Cardenas's house, shot him several times, and beat up 2 other victims. Those victims, Mauricio Butrago and Roberto Magana, also lived in Kennewick. Besides Federico Velasco, police are also looking for Maria Velasco. Kennewick police won't say why detectives in California think that Velasco is in the Tri-Cities. Police want you to learn to recognize suspicious behavior, and tonight Yakima officers and members of the Mount Adams Lodge hosted a community forum to teach families to recognize methamphetamine labs. Added together, Yakima and the Tri-Cities make up the 3rd highest for meth use in Washington State, behind Tacoma and Spokane. Police say keeping you informed is the best weapon against meth use. At tonight's meeting, Craig Childress says he can't believe how widespread meth problem is.
And off they go.
I was surprised at least how easy the basic ingredients were as far as making this product over the counter. I mean, you know, a little bit of chemistry, you know, simple stuff, you can put something together.
Signs of a meth lab include the smell of ammonia or another strong odor, propane tanks, and empty spray cans that contained ether, an excess amount of cough syrup. You should call the police if you suspect any meth lab. It's a sad statement on the world today, but kids have to learn how to react if someone tries to grab them. Tonight, Eric Heidreich went to a class that teaches kids how to protect themselves. Eric?
Well, Lucinda, Jackie Lavallee has been teaching kids how to defend themselves for 4 years now. She's a karate champion who's also talked with the FBI to find out what works against child predators. Every Tuesday night in Pasco, she teaches children how to fight off an attack. And in case they're knocked down, she's showing these girls how to fall so they don't hurt themselves. It's only the first class, but the girls have already learned something.
I learned how to fall back. Well, if I fall backwards or frontwards, I can learn how to not make it so I do not hit my head. It's important because if anyone in the future is trying to take me, I know some things I can do to fight back, and I probably won't be able to be taken by them, and I have a better chance of being safe.
Now, Jackie said the one thing to remember is always scream as loud as you can. People who prey on children do not want anyone to notice them. Lucinda?
Good advice, Eric. And you should also call the Pasco Parks and Rec Department if your children want to take the class. And then we'll check back in 7 weeks to find out just how much these girls have learned. Some firefighters will now be ordered to back away from unpredictable fires. The new rules come in the wake of last summer's fire that killed 4 firefighters near Winthrop. The rules will affect firefighters in the Okanagan and Wenatchee National Forest. Forest Supervisor Sonny O'Neill says he came up with the rules to protect firefighters while the Forest Service works on national plans. The local plan focuses on training to follow standard safety precautions. Area police officers say their added presence on the roads is already encouraging nicer driving. Richland officers are out in force on George Washington Way. The Drive Nice campaign started today. Officers are warning drivers to obey the speed limit, signal during lane changes, and don't tailgate other drivers. The city's reader boards also flash reminders to drivers. Sergeant Chris Vowles says the officers are trying to decrease the number of crashes on George Washington Way.
I think people need to help us with cleaning it up on George Washington Way. It's just a dangerous place.
This week, officers will issue warnings as well as tickets, but next week, it's all about tickets. No questions asked and no excuses. The excuse for higher gas prices apparently stems from spring break. With spring break arriving and more vacationers hitting the road, regional economist for Washington State, Dean Shaw, says gas stations are taking the easy road when it comes to making more money.
Supply and demand. It's all supply and demand. As long as the government keeps its stupid, icky little fingers out of most energy markets, the price will go high and consumers will complain, and the price will go down and producers will complain, but it's a market.
Shaw, who also teaches at Columbia Basin College, says drivers should enjoy the low gas prices while they last. Shaw says he suspects prices will quickly rise to $1.50 a gallon. Governor Gary Locke will be in the Tri-Cities tomorrow. He plans to talk about the budget and Hanford cleanup at the Tri-Cities Area Chamber Luncheon. Earlier today, Locke praised an education center, though, in Yakima. Locke says Representative Mary Skinner and Senator Alex Deccio are to be praised for helping to raise the money with such a tight budget for Washington State. It cost $22.5 million to build the Higher Education Center at Yakima Valley Community College, and $1.5 million of that came out of the capital budget. Locke says the capital budget is a vital part of our state's economy, and this was well worth the use.
That budget was necessary not only to keep projects ongoing, projects that were already underway, and to keep the construction going, but also to add some $100 million for economic stimulus.
And the Higher Education Center is scheduled to open in the fall of 2003. While in Yakima, Locke also helped kick off a new healthcare initiative. The initiative is designed to end the shortage of healthcare workers in Central Washington. Locke talked with healthcare providers and presidents from 5 different community colleges. Part of the initiative will target Hispanics and bilingual people to convince them to go into the healthcare field to become nurses and medical assistants. And community colleges may help by expanding healthcare studies. The 2 main highway passes over the Cascades in Washington are closed tonight. The State Department of Transportation does not expect the roads to reopen until at least 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Interstate 90's eastbound traffic is stopped at Edgewick, and westbound traffic is stopped at Easton, at Cleellum, and at Ellensburg. Crews are working on cleanup for avalanche control. And Tom, it's hard to believe that there's all those avalanche problems up there, although I guess with the wet snow coming in, warmer temperatures.
Yeah, it's going to be probably a kind of a rough spring if this continues the way that it has. The mountains have just been dumped on, but at least that means fewer water problems come the summer. Let's get a look at our current conditions. We do have some good showers scattered around the region. There you can see it. The snow line is just a little bit north of Seattle. Starts about at Snoqualmie and then runs north. And Spokane getting some good rain, and then that's turning into snow in Idaho and northeastern Washington tonight. Temperature is still relatively mild across the region. The one place that's feeling a little bit cooler is the Tri-Cities, because it's still a little bit on the breezy side, but things have calmed down from where they have been over the past little bit. But currently, Ellensburg is at 36, Yakima 39, the Tri-Cities 49, Walla Walla 46, and Pendleton 44. Your full forecast is just a couple of minutes away, so stick around. First, here are the latest pass reports brought to you tonight by Wilcox Furniture.